My One Life Fully Lived, My One Life Story. And what we like from One Life Fully Lived is to have everybody rise up to new heights of what their life was. And we had a contest where we had people turn in a 90-second video of how One Life's helped change their life. It was their My One Life story. And for this conference, we want to recognize and give awards to two people who absolutely exemplify One Life Fully Lived. The first one is a gentleman I met about 2 years ago, and he's just one of those guys. First of all, he's a connector. He's just one of those guys, once you meet him, and especially once you guys hear his story, if any of you can say you can't do something, after you hear this story, I want you to see what it does to your paradigm. So I met this gentleman 2 years ago. He's an incredible guy. Please welcome to the stage Mr. Diego Corzo, My One Life Story winner.
All right. Everybody can hear me okay? All right. It is August 15, 2015. My legs are shaking. My stomach have feel butterflies. My palms, with every single step, are getting sweatier and sweatier. Similar to how I'm feeling a little bit right now. I'm about to do something that some people might think is crazy. Some people might think it's out of the norm. I walk into a conference room, turn on the light. My manager sits in front of me. I sit down and I say, Brett, I'm very thankful for the opportunity that you're giving me to work at General Motors. I love my team, I love the culture, but now I have a new passion. I'm submitting my 2 weeks notice, and I'm going to become a full-time real estate agent. Now, I'm a full-time agent and full-time investor. I own 6 properties, and thankfully I have 3 closings coming up next week. But life wasn't always this easy or this great. You see, 16 years ago, my parents decided to sacrifice everything that they had and come to a country so that we can pursue our American dream. I had no idea what that dream was going to challenge me and what type of person I was going to become. I was 9 years old at the time, and not knowing what was going on, my parents decided to overstay their visa, which means that we became illegal immigrants. Up to now, I'm still an illegal immigrant, and I am what Congress calls a dreamer. A dreamer is somebody that came as a kid, and now they're trying to be a better person and help society here in the United States. But I had no idea what being a dreamer was going to be and the obstacles that I was going to have. I graduated high school, third in my class. I went to Florida State University in 2009. And I ran into an obstacle. I found out that I couldn't qualify for any student loans. So I figured, what the heck, I'll apply to as many scholarships as I could. And I won a bunch, $2,000, $3,000, $1,000. And then they took them back because they said, Diego, we're missing one piece of paperwork. We're missing your green card or your something that qualifies you. And I said, I don't have it. So there was nothing I could do. I went to FSU anyway, knowing that I could pay for one semester. And then I managed to volunteer at a nonprofit, working in the IT department. And after a few months, they said that I was doing more work than a senior was doing as a freshman. So they decided to hire me. I was excited. And then, as I'm going through the hiring process, I get a call and they tell me, Diego, we cannot hire you because of your immigration status. It was then that I realized, with all the sadness in my heart, that I couldn't work legally in the United States. And I was like, wow, what am I going to do? I mean, I'm here. I want to pursue this dream. And then I found out that I could open my own LLC in Florida. So I created my own company, and I began doing IT work for small businesses and nonprofits. And it was awesome. That's how I managed to be able to pay for my college. And then in 2012, one hot summer afternoon in August, I hear a speech from Obama. And in that speech, he passes an executive order that grants the dreamers the ability to work and also be able to drive. And oh man, I was excited. I remember calling my parents and I'm telling them, yes, finally, at the age of 22, I'm finally going to be able to drive. I'm finally going to be able to work. And it was awesome. I was super excited for that moment. That executive order was a life changer for me, and it came at the perfect time. You see, it was my senior year in college. And it was my senior year in college, and it was at that time that I began to apply to various companies. And one of them being GM, they hired me on the spot because of a recommendation from the dean that told him, if you hire anybody from FSU, you have to take Diego. So it was pretty good. It was pretty good. So then I let them know that my immigration paperwork was coming, and my lawyer told me that it will take 3 months. So my interview happened September 2012. I was graduating December. And I told them that, and they said, okay, we will hire you. It was going to be perfect that I was going to start in January, and I was going to move to Austin. I remember I came out of the interview with the biggest grin in my face. It was amazing. And so I go back, I call my parents. I go back home, I call my parents, and I tell them, hey, I'm finally going to be able to get my job, to get a job and fulfill my dream. I'm going to be working for a Fortune 5 company, and I'm moving to Austin. Oh, man, it was amazing. Then, it was December 2012. I need to be in Austin in a week, and I haven't received anything from immigration. I had nothing. I felt confused. I felt frustrated. I was anxious. What was I going to do? I'm going to move to a place where I do not know anybody. I can't drive, and I don't even have a guaranteed job yet. So I took a leap of faith, and I moved to Austin anyway. And in that time, I managed to convince General Motors to hire me as a contractor. I called upper management, and I made it happen. They said yes. And man, it was a lot of ups and downs, and months later, through a lot of hassle, I finally got my paperwork. They hired me as an employee, and I was able to finally drive. I took my bike and I threw it away. No more driving my bike anymore. So yes, I had a lot of obstacles in my life, but my belief is that happiness is a choice, and I haven't let these obstacles. I decided to take these obstacles, but be happy with the life that I have while I build the life of my dreams. You see, right now, about a few months ago, I heard a podcast with Hal Elrod, and he said, focus on your vision, not in your current circumstances, and move forward. And it hit me because that's how I truly lived my entire life. I was always focusing forward, and whatever was happening, I knew that I was going to find a solution. Now, I know that a lot of people here, we all have challenges, we all deal with obstacles, but don't let those obstacles define you. What you guys have to do is, the only thing that you guys can control is your attitude. And also you yourself are allowing to give the meaning to the current situation. So I challenge you, don't settle for anything less than your best. You live in a country where you can be anything that you want to be, but it comes with a price. It is not free. Trust me, I lived it. It takes self-discipline, perseverance, and dedication. And, you know, there have been times that a lot of people, there have been times that people have told me that in order for you to have a great life, you cannot be average. So, if I can do this at an immigrant coming to a country at the age of 9, not being able to drive until 22, to working for a Fortune 5 company and then quitting corporate America so I can fulfill my dreams, why not you? Why don't you take full responsibility of your actions, have a vision and follow your dream, and live one life fully lived? Thank you. Thank you.
Diego Corzo, everyone. Diego Corzo. Keep it going.